So this is going to be a little bit different. I'm hoping to cross-platform life and moto. I want to have it on Instagram. I'm building the podcast, working on audio quality. Tonight's episode was totally my fault. I uploaded it in the wrong format, which made it sound super echoey. I made changes. Sounded way better before I did that. But besides all of that, I'm kind of wanting to turn this into cross-platform. I want to be able to have this where we can do, Instagram, the podcast, and kind of do some YouTube stuff. I'd love for this to try to transform into just daily information. I'm trying to build that moto world that we're losing every day to the lack of community involvement. So if I can just bring a little bit of awareness to it, maybe get more people's attention, because the biggest thing is we're getting such an influx of different people and different demographics and different riders and different styles that, we've lost so many people because we have no interest out there for people. So that's why tonight's episode on the podcast was talking mainly about the simple things of like desert racing to try to help promote that. And I, again, am not a Sidra person in the sense of I don't represent them, I don't speak on behalf of them. This is just me and my platforms trying to get more people involved. So what my goal is to touch on a few things in the sense of like where I'd like for this to go, kind of see where this could be. I'm gonna try putting this through YouTube. We've got it on Instagram now at MotoLife21, and obviously the podcast. So what more is there to do other than just keep advocating for it and trying to spread the word and try to get more people involved and engaged and try to bring the moto community back. I know it's winter, I know it's horrible timing for all this, but we still all usually ride. I've rode every weekend since I've been back, and it's just one of those things. It's like, I don't know, I've been East Coast, West Coast, and in between, and our riding scene is not what it used to be. I talked to a couple old timers, and including my dad is one of those. We're just not the same. We're not what we used to be. And, a lot of the day-to-day activities, I get it. It takes into it. It's, it takes you away from riding. The cost of living is higher. The cost of fuel to go riding is higher. But, just a little bit more and a little bit of effort and maybe a little extra, we could do this. We could make the riding community huge again. We could bring back more events for Sidra. We could bring back more races at the tracks. Skyline is doing fabulous work to promote the MX world. They are on top of their game. I've seen more out of that one track in the last 6 months than, I hate to say it, anybody else has done in the last couple of years. They're bringing huge things, and I'm super proud of them and can't wait to see where they're going to go with this. But that's the thing. That's what we need. We need more people, more desire, more wants to do this stuff. As a father to a daughter, and I touch on that a little bit in the podcast, she loves riding. This is her world. This is what she loves to do. She's been doing it since she was 2.5, 3 years old. She started out balance bikes and e-bikes and so forth. But, we're gonna lose that for a lot of the kids and a lot of the old timers and a lot of people that have been riding that are, in my age, in the mid-30s. And I think the biggest thing we can do is try to make it more aware that we have great riding, we have great opportunities, we have great organizations, Sidra, the Hare and the Hound, we've got Skyline, we've got OMC, we've got Out in Mountain Home, we've got all kinds of just different avenues and options for this. And ultimately, that's what I want to do. I want to do ride days. I want to run into people, interview them, see what they're doing, what's new in their world, what's got them where they were that day. And life and moto is also life. And we'll talk about, hey, why are you riding? Is this something to help you do with this or that? And and it may not be the case for everybody, but there's a good amount of people that ride to help with their other issues they deal with on a day-to-day. So if we can make this something, that's what we can do. And I know that, you know, good old Idaho doesn't have a whole lot other than the potatoes. If you go anywhere else, like, that's all they think we have. So let's try to show that we have riding. I know we have a lot of old school mentality of like, don't bring in the people, don't let them know we're here, don't let them know what we're doing. But what does that do? That just kills off what we've all worked so hard to do, and that's enjoy riding and family time and, you know, spending things with our kids, and just, I don't want to see that. And so through Life in Moto, I'm hoping we can advocate a little more and build a little more and see what we can do with this. So let's take this one day at a time, one episode, one podcast, one vlog, or however you want to see it, because this is all new to me, but it's also something I know is what helps generate attention, is just getting loud and being in everybody's face and on every platform. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, love to sit down with anybody that watches this that's either a rider or part of a club, or, you know, anybody from Skyline or any of the other tracks along the way, including Sidra. I would love to have the president or somebody from, you know, anybody in Sidra sit down and say, hey, you know, this is what we'd like to do, this is where our goals are, you know, or this is where we're struggling, or this is where we're not, and get it aware. You know, if it's getting people to help volunteer, then we got to let that be known, you know, or hey, we need more people after the race to clean up, and, you know, advocating for, I personally advocated as well, staying on the trail. I can't stress that enough. We're blessed to have the opportunity to race through the desert in BLM, and if you can't respect it, then don't bother. And that's the one and only time I'll ever like kind of put my foot down, because those are the people that are going to ruin it for everybody. It's kind of like the old kindergarten and school adage, you know, you're going to be an ass, everybody else is going to pay. So let's just see where we can take this, and, you know, one day, one step, one video, one share, one like, comment. We're on Instagram now with Life in Moto. Platforms. Let's make this one word, one voice, and yeah, let's see where we can take this.